Lona, what are you doing away from home at this hour in the evening? Explain yourself, young lady.
What? I'm sorry. Am I supposed to be somewhere right now? I think I missed a memo.
At home? With my son? Where else? Honestly, you're a married woman. You should start acting like it. I told you we have things to discuss earlier today, didn't I? I can't believe you have the gall to stand up to your own mother-in-law.
I mean, I remember you saying that. I just figured it wasn't, a command.
Don't you take that tone with me. You should know by now anything I say should be treated like a command. So, what's the holdup? You're not experiencing some major crisis, are you? Your legs aren't broken. Society hasn't collapsed. So, what excuse do you have?
No, nothing like that. It'll just be a while before I can make it back, since I'm still at work. I just wasn't expecting you to message me so urgently, that's all.
In that case, hurry up and get your butt over here. I've been waiting for you all day, and you're really testing my patience at this point.
All day? Wait a second. Have you been at our house all day?
John has the day off, as you know, so I took it upon myself to come over, make some lunch for the two of us, and get some shopping done.
I see. I knew he had the day off, but I wasn't expecting you.
I assumed you'd be here to make a nice home-cooked dinner, but I guess that's wishful thinking on my part. Silly me, thinking you had a grasp on even the basics of wifedom.
Well, if I had just a little more heads up, I would have loved to cook for you.
I'm happy to see you have at least a basic grasp of manners, yet you fail to understand the root of the problem. You should always be home by this time of the day. It's a wife's duty to take care of the home. You can't be out and about, leaving your husband with nothing but sad, cold leftovers to eat.
Well, all right. I'll keep that in mind for the future, I suppose.
The only thing you should be keeping in mind is how best to serve your husband and his family. You really don't need to trouble yourself with anything overly complicated.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but I have a job. I can't exactly just stay at home all the time. I've made a serious commitment to my company.
And you love your job more than my dear, sweet John? Is that it? That's the trouble with these younger women. Always married to their careers and not men. Coming home late from work, not tending to my son's needs. You're a failure of a wife, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Again, I'm sorry, but I just don't know what to tell you.
Ugh, fine. I can see logic is getting us nowhere. All right then, how much longer will you keep me waiting? Unlike you, I've learned to be a proper woman, and I can't wait here day and night for you to drag your sorry butt through that door.
You're going to have to wait a while, I'm afraid. I'm still on the clock for a bit longer tonight, doing overtime to cover for a coworker.
On the clock? You say? And just what sort of work are you doing exactly?
What's that supposed to mean?
You say you're working hard, but I say you're hardly working. It's sounding more and more like a thinly veiled lie as the clock ticks on. Well, ever since you had the baby, it seems like you're trying to act lazily in this house, aren't you? How dare you think that?
Are you kidding me right now? I'm doing my best here. Adjusting to motherhood is like a major challenge. Some days are just like impossible. But instead of understanding that, you just keep nagging at me.
Nagging? Oh, please. I'm just calling it as I see it. It's not too much to ask for you to step up and contribute more to the household duties like a true wife.
You're being unreasonable about this. Tell me, is this not the real reason you're being angry at me right now? You're being angry because the child is a girl, not a boy, right? Why do you just keep complaining about this? A boy or a girl, it's just fine. What's wrong with having a girl? Tell me. And most importantly, John is still very happy about that. To be honest, you're our mom. So instead of getting irritated at me, you should actually be happy for us.
What? Happy? How could you tell me to be happy with a granddaughter? Remember, John is the only son in this family, so of course his wife must have the responsibility to give me a grandson. This child will be the future heir, so it must be a boy. I told you thousands of times, this child is useless, so aborting it will cause no harm. But you never seem to listen to me.
Mom, I can't believe you're still stuck on this outdated notion of a male heir. It's incredibly frustrating to hear you dismiss the value of our child simply because she's a girl. This kind of thinking is harmful and unfair.
Harmful? Unfair? Oh, please. You just don't understand the importance of carrying on the family name and tradition. It's not about dismissing our child. It's about ensuring a secure future for our family.
Mom, our child's worth is not determined by their gender or their ability to be an heir. They deserve love and support regardless. It's time to let go of these rigid expectations and embrace the idea that girls can be just as successful and capable as boys.
Oh, spare me the modern-day speeches, Lona. You're so naive. Our world today is still a place where men hold more power and influence. Having a grandson would secure our family's position and provide opportunities that a girl simply can't.
That's such a narrow-minded perspective, Mom. We're living in a modern society now. It's just not fair if you still have that prejudice. Instead, we should celebrate its birth, don't you think?
What? You're telling me I'm narrow-minded? You just don't know how to behave, do you? How could you talk to your mother-in-law that way? Then fine, just do it your way. But mark my words, if you don't want to abort it, I'll have to do it myself one day.
What? Mom? What are you saying? Mom! John, darling, can I talk to you right now? There's something I want you to hear right away.
Oh, hey, Lana, what's wrong? You sound in a hurry. Perhaps, did something serious happen to you?
No, I'm okay. Nothing happened.
I see, that's good. Then, what's that?
Well, it's about Mom.
What's with Mom? She's scolding you again? If that's the case, I'm really sorry for that. I have told her several times before, but she didn't seem to listen to me even one word.
Well, it's true that Mom was angry with me, but this time she even warned me that she would make our baby disappear.
Wait, what? She said so?
Yes. I'm so worried right now. Do you think that something will happen to our daughter? I'm so scared.
Calm down, Lana. Things are not that serious. My mom is not that cruel, believe me. She would not do something like that. I think she was just speaking out of anger and frustration. But I understand why you're worried. Let's talk to her and try to clear things up.
I hope you're right, John. It's just that her words were so harsh and it really shook me. I never thought she would say something like that about our baby. I know she has strong beliefs about having a male heir, but threatening our child's safety is going too far.
I agree, Lana. It's unacceptable for her to use our child as a pawn in our expectations. But let's approach her with compassion and understanding. Maybe we can help her see the error in her words and make her realize that our baby's well-being should be the priority.
I want to believe that she didn't mean it. It was just a moment of anger. But it's hard not to worry when someone you love and trust says something so alarming. I hope we can find a way to make her understand how important our child is to us.
We'll find a way, Lana. Our baby deserves to grow up in a supportive and loving environment, free from such negativity. Let's have a calm and honest conversation with Mom, expressing our concerns and emphasizing the importance of acceptance and unconditional love.
I appreciate your reassurance, John. I know you've always been a bridge between me and your mom, and I hope this time won't be an exception. It's just difficult for me to comprehend why she's so fixated on the gender of our child.
I know, Lana. It's frustrating for me too. But change takes time, and sometimes it's hard for people to let go of deeply ingrained beliefs. We can't force her to change overnight, but we can slowly make her understand and hope that she'll come around eventually.
You know it, right? It's okay for me if it's just a simple conversation. But it seems that Mom is gradually crossing the border. It's just so pressing these days. I don't know what to do about that, John.
That's awful. Well, Lana, do you think we should move out? It would be a better option for you and also the baby.
That could be an idea. Dad will agree, but I don't think it would be the same for Mom. She wouldn't want you to leave. You're her only son.
I understand your concern, Lana. It won't be easy for Mom to accept the idea of us moving out. She might feel like we're abandoning her or breaking away from the family tradition. However, we need to prioritize our own well-being and the well-being of our child. We can't let her unreasonable expectations and anger continue to affect us. I'm really worried about the baby too.
It's a difficult situation, John. To be honest, I want to create a loving and supportive environment for our child, free from the toxicity that Mom's beliefs bring. However, I also don't want to strain the relationship between you and your mom. It's a challenging decision for me. You know, I'm her daughter-in-law, so it's terrible to leave them like that. I really want them to observe the development of our daughter.
I understand your concerns, Lana, but we can't let fear of straining the relationship hold us back from doing what's best for our family. We need to have an open and honest conversation with Mom, explaining our reasons for considering moving out. I think after moving out, we could still sometimes visit her, right? It's not like we cut ties with her or something. It's just a matter of distance, don't you think, Lana?
Well, if you say so, then it's okay. But please be careful. I don't want her to feel offended and being left out. Old people are easily emotional sometimes.
Don't worry, Lana. I'll be careful with her.
Lona! Lona! Why is this house such a mess? Where are you right now? Don't tell me you're somewhere sleeping again. How could you be so lazy like that?
What? How could you still order me to do the household chores? Don't you even want to ask about my condition right now? What a brutal mother-in-law you are.
Ugh. Seriously? You're always coming up with some excuse, aren't you? I've heard them all, Lona. But fine. Go ahead and share your brilliant reason for not doing the housework. I'm all ears, like I have a choice.
Okay then, I'll just spit it out to you. I'm at the hospital right now. Don't you remember that you pushed me down the stairs yesterday? It was so cruel of you to do that to me, and to the baby as well.
Wait, what? Is there something happening to the baby? Is she dead? Oh my God, what a pity. But you shouldn't be worried about that. We still have a chance to have another, right? No big deal.
What? I can't believe you would say this to me. Are you for real? Did you actually just say that? Just hearing the evil words coming out of your mouth makes me feel nauseous. This isn't a joke, Mom. We're talking about the health and safety of your grandchild here. It's cruel of you to say something like that to me, to us.
Oh, come on, Lona. Don't be so dramatic. I didn't mean it like that. You know I didn't. I was just trying to lighten the mood, with a little dark humor. No need to get all worked up about it.
Dark humor? Really, Nira? This is not the time or place for your so-called jokes. Don't you feel any sympathy for your own grandchild? Do you really want it just to get out of your sight? How could you do that to her?
Fine, but just tell me what happened. She's dead, right?
Ugh, what? So you just want her to disappear, right? But I have to disappoint you. She's totally fine.
That's great. Well, who do you think I am? I just feel inconvenient every time I think of having a granddaughter. You should have thought of this when you decided to reject my words and keep the baby. And moreover, how dare you force my son to move out with you? He's my only son. Instead of that, why don't you just move out with your stupid, useless daughter? Don't even dream of persuading my son to participate in your stupid plan. I'll never allow that.
You're misunderstanding things. I didn't force him to do that. We just want to move out so that we could live independently. You know, we need our own space and privacy.
Blah, blah, blah. I don't care whatever you say. Don't try to make excuses for yourself. It's driving me nuts. At first, I thought if the baby no longer existed, then John would never listen to any of your words. So I pushed you down those stairs. Just look at how much trouble she's created for our family. But wow, you're lucky to still keep her alive until now.
What on earth are you talking about? You meant to kill her, right? I can't believe it. What kind of a grandma are you? Even if you hate her that much, it still couldn't be the reason why you would want to kill her. It's your son's child. And it's also your granddaughter. All I can say is that you're being out of your mind.
What? Granddaughter? She's not my granddaughter. I don't have a granddaughter. I only accept a grandson. But okay, fine, whatever. I guess I can't say anything right in your eyes. Sorry for not being perfect like you. I'll just shut up now and let you play the victim card, as usual.
Oh, so now you're blaming everything on me? It's still my fault to put myself in the hospital, and I was nearly about to lose my child? What kind of logic is that? And I don't need you to shut up or anything. I need you to listen and support me, your daughter-in-law. Is that too much to ask?
Well, apparently everything I say is wrong. So why should I bother? You know what, Lona? Deal with your own problems. I'm tired of walking on eggshells around you and your never-ending drama. And one more thing. I'm not going to apologize for anything. In fact, maybe this is a valuable lesson for you. Maybe you should learn how to behave like a nice daughter-in-law and stop causing so much trouble. Have you ever considered that?
Your words are truly baffling, Nira. Instead of acknowledging your own mistakes and showing some compassion, you continue to deflect and belittle me. It's disappointing to see how little you value our relationship and the well-being of our family. Teaching me a lesson. Is that what you call it? Well, let me tell you, Nira, this is not how you teach someone. This is how you push them away and create more resentment. If you truly cared about our family, you would try to understand and support me, instead of trying to prove some misguided point.
Spare me the lecture, Lona. I've had enough of your self-righteousness. Maybe if you stopped playing the victim all the time, we could have a meaningful conversation. But no, it's always about you and your needs. Well, guess what? I'm tired of it. If you don't want my help or support, then fine. Deal with your own problems. But don't expect me to stand by and watch as you continue to make a mess of things. I have my limits too, you know.
It's clear that we're not going to get anywhere with this argument. Your refusal to see your own faults and take responsibility for your actions is disheartening. I had hoped for your understanding and compassion, but it seems that's too much to ask for. I'll find the strength to deal with my own problems, Mom, just as I always have. But remember, family should be there for each other, especially during difficult times. It's a shame that you choose to turn your back on that responsibility.
Okay, just stop that. Ugh. Could you please stop your never-ending nonsense right now? It's just getting on my nerves. Can't believe I let my son marry you. It's like being married to a burden.
Ugh, you never make any effort to understand me, or even treat me like a normal person. So I'm gonna spill the beans for you. Actually, John and I already knew that you would find a way to harm my child one day, so we installed secret cameras all around the house. And of course, we have all the videos of you insulting me and pushing me down the stairs, which could be useful evidence to sue you.
Hold on a second. What did you just say? Secret cameras? Evidence? Sue me? This is outrageous. You can't be serious.
Oh, I'm dead serious, Mom. John and I have been dealing with your toxic behavior for far too long. We knew we needed to protect ourselves, especially after what happened. Those cameras have captured everything, every single insult, and your violent act of pushing me down the stairs. It's all recorded, and it could be used as evidence against you.
This is absurd. How could you do such a thing? Spying on me in my own home? And planning to use it against me? You're twisting everything around to make me the villain here.
No, Mom. You made yourself the villain with your actions. We installed those cameras because we had to protect ourselves from your unpredictable behavior. It's not about twisting anything. It's about exposing the truth.
I can't believe my own son would go along with this. How could he betray me like this. I thought he was on my side.
John loves you, Mom, but he also loves me and our child. He couldn't stand by and watch as you continue to harm us physically and emotionally. He made the difficult decision to install those cameras to ensure our safety and to gather evidence in case we needed it.
I never intended to harm you or our child. I might have said things in the heat of the moment, but pushing you down the stairs was an accident. You have to believe me.
Believe you? After everything that has happened? Sorry, Mom, but your words hold no weight anymore. We have proof of your actions, and we will use it if necessary to protect ourselves and seek justice.
This is tearing our family apart, Luna. Is that what you want? To destroy our relationship and put John in the middle of this?
I never wanted it to come to this, Nira. I wanted a peaceful and harmonious family, but your constant disrespect and aggression forced us to take drastic measures. We need to prioritize our safety and the well-being of our child. Oh, and one more thing. Well, Mom, I'll give this to Dad so he can see all the evil things you've done to me. I used to hide these from Dad just to protect you, but you've crossed the line. You hurt me so much that I couldn't pretend like nothing's happened. I almost nearly lost my own blooded daughter. I can't take it anymore, you know? It's time I become stronger so as to protect my child from your fangs.
No, you can't do that. I'll be kicked out of the house. You can't treat your mother like this.
Oh yeah? Look at the way you treat your daughter-in-law. You treat me like dirt. I am nothing but a leech to you. I'm just simply repaying everything.
I don't know what to say. I never imagined it would come to this. I'm really sorry for everything that has happened. I never meant to cause any harm.
It's too late for apologies now, Mom. The damage has been done. We'll have to deal with the consequences and find a way forward, whether it's through legal means or otherwise. It's time to face the reality of our situation.
I need some time to process all of this. I never wanted things to turn out like this. I hope you can find a way to repair our fractured family, but it won't be easy. But we could certainly do it together, right? We are family. So you're supposed to help me with this. Aren't you going to ruin your mother-in-law's life? You wouldn't want that, would you?
Of course not. I can't forgive you for what you've done. You've hurt me and my family deeply. You even wanted to kill my daughter. You're a monster! I'll never let my family or my daughter go near you. Who knows when you're gonna make plans to kill us one more time?
I know I have. And I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. I was just so afraid of losing our family. I lost control. Please don't leave me like this.
Well, you did lose me, my daughter, John, and soon, even your husband. And now, don't ever think that we can ever go back to where we used to be. It's you who ruined this family, and now I'll let you suffer the pain of karma.
But I'm your mother-in-law.
It's all gone, Mom. Well, perhaps the only thing you should do now is pack your luggage and prepare for your new home. I mean, prison.
Please, Lona. Give me a chance to make things right. I love you, and I want to be a part of your life. I swear I'll change. I'll learn to love your daughter as my dearest grandchild. Please, I'll become a better person.
Don't try to convince me. It's just a waste of your time. Now I'm lost. I need a rest. I'm too tired to deal with your stupid talking.
No way, Lona. You can't treat me like this. Please tell John to save me. You guys can't treat your mother-in-law like this. This can't be happening. Lona! Lona!
After I showed the video and told John's father what had been going on behind the scenes with me and Mrs. Nira, his father was deeply shocked and disappointed. As previously mentioned, he came rushing to the hospital. He apologized over and over again for what Mrs. Nira did, even though he didn't do anything wrong. After some discussion, John's father decided to get a divorce. They've been married for a long time, but that only meant that he had time to notice some red flags in their relationship. He stayed married for John's sake, But after what had happened, he finally decided it was time to get divorced. As a result, Mrs. Nira lost her husband, her son, and was kicked out of her house. However, things didn't end there. 2 days later, after collecting all necessary proof, I decided to sue Mrs. Nira for committing violence and harassment. Of course, I won the court and could eventually put her in prison. Well, 10 years should be long enough for her to reconsider all of her crimes. John and I stayed in the house with his dad. After all that happened, we could finally greet our first child together. Needless to say, she was really pretty. From then, we lived a happy life with each other, and I'm totally content with that.